Hi you guys, it's Lisa. I'm going to create a mixed media piece in my art journal. Now there is a lot of things going on with this video. A lot of things going wrong, I should say. For one thing, as you can see, is the lighting. Let me get to that. But I will tell you what I'm going to do, and don't worry, it is going to be fixed. So I'm in my art journal, and I'm going to leave a link up above on this art journal. I actually made it myself. It's not 100% wonderful, but it was my first time. So I put down these lines on my art journal page, which is made of watercolor paper, and I used my Stabilo black pencil. Here I am covering those lines with some matte gel and some water. You can see I use my brush and I use my finger, and I'm just smearing them. One thing I'm doing is smearing them with the water, and I am also sealing it with the matte gel. Now I learned this technique from Lali Mill, and I will leave her channel in the description below, and also in the end of the video you can link her channel. But I really like how she showed how to do this. It gives kind of a blurred out, real grungy type of line, and I really was thinking that I wanted that effect. So I'm using again my black Stabilo all pencil. I have watercolor paper. I'm using water, my finger, a brush, and I'm sealing it with this matte gel. Super fun technique, and I just wanted to kind of put down like a little, I don't know, grid of sorts, and I wanted these each individual portions on this art journal page. I'm going to use different mixed media techniques in the whole piece, but I just wanted little areas that I could create in. I am not feeling 100%, and I actually went and got tested for corona, and I wasn't sure how much of this I was going to get through. So if I broke it down into these individual little pieces, I thought that it was less intimidating for me to try. I have some flickering going on also with my video. Trust me, I have all of these problems worked out in the end. There was an update for my camera, and I use a Logitech C920. It's kind of a webcam, and it's hanging above my head, obviously. There was an update that came out, and so it changed all my settings, and I did not know that until I kept messing around with it, because I was like, this is weird lighting, why is it flickering? Oh, I had all these questions, but I just kept going because I didn't want to lose the footage of this piece in case it turned out cool. Okay, back to the piece. So here I'm grabbing a whole bunch of different kinds of papers from my stash. This is a little bit of tissue. You use it when you make dresses and stuff, so pattern paper, that's what it is. Excuse me. And I'm using my matte medium to put that down. I have some just plain old let's see, dictionary pages. I have some old letter paper. I have some music paper that's already has some paint on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put all of these things down in each of these different little squares that I created. And I'm going to kind of move right along because I have really bad lighting here. So I'm going to get to a spot where I can continue on. Okay, you can see I'm not finished with the page, but I wanted to show you something here. I'm ripping that music sheet, and here's something that I recently got. It's called a rip ruler, and it has two sides on it, two different I don't know, patterns, and you can just use that to rip your papers. It is super cool. I got it from a friend of mine, Carolyn Woods, in Wisconsin Rapids, and it was, I believe, Creative Memories. And unfortunately, they went out of business, but I can get details if you want. I think with her discount, it was like $10. But what a cool tool! Something new to me, and I used it a lot ripping these papers. So here I'm just adding scraps from what I ripped off. That's just what my piece was telling me to do. I don't know why, it was just telling me to do it, and I was just putting all that down with my matte medium. Okay, I will yeah, I think I use it again here. It's really a cool tool. Rip. So easy, and actually kind of fun too. Alright, so now the next step. I know my lighting is still bad. I am so sorry, but it'll get better, I promise. I just didn't want to scrap the project. Here what I'm doing is I picked out a few focal points. I think 8 to be exact. Some of it is from wallpaper, like this flower with the dragonfly on. There's some wallpaper flowers there. There's some dragonflies, that big flower over to the left. And I'm just picking out paints that I thought kind of went with the paint colors I had. Here's some pink I'm using behind the dragonfly. I'm not coloring the whole piece, and I'm also using some titanium white there. I want the background to show through, but I just needed to give that dragonfly a little background. Here I added a little blue to the side, and I'm hoping I can mix a couple of these other colors to put the purple in. I know that the color is not great, but you will see in just the very next section, hang in there with me, that the colors will come through. I finally figured out what the heck was going on. So here I mixed those pinks and blues together, and I made a purplish color to reflect that iris that I have in the middle right. And just going on and on and on, placing my elements down, and I'm going to adhere them with my matte medium, and just having a little bit more fun with those focal points, getting them all stuck down. Okay, my camera's working, yay! Look at that color. You can kind of see what I'm doing now. You can also see how dry and cracked my hands are. But I will try and focus in here a little bit for you. And I'm just putting those colors in the background, and then I used my Stabilo black pencil and went around and defined those areas, the different squares and blocks, and just using a brush and blending that black into the background. And I like how it defines the edges. I didn't lose that black line, and I really wanted those different areas to be separate, like I said, because I wasn't sure how many of those I was going to get to this week. So my thought is that I am going to work on one at a time, like I said, so that it won't be so difficult to finish this big piece. This piece is quite big, so I didn't want there to be an issue with not completing the piece. So I'm liking how that's looking, and we will zoom out here again for you so that you can see the entire thing. Thank you for being patient on the lighting. Like I said, I did finally get it to work, so you can see the colors are much better. And you know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to use my burnt umber and my water and put a wash over the whole entire piece. And I could have used my glazing medium, and in hindsight I think I should have, because this is a large area that I'm using, and I was trying to rush to get the brown on so that it would not dry on the right hand side by the time I got to the left. So I'm really doing this fast. It is sped up, of course, but I really am doing it fast. And then I think something's going to happen here also with my camera. It's going to start flickering. I am not kidding. I have had the hardest time with this piece, but okay, we are dry. I have now discovered that this is probably the hardest piece that I've ever had to do, and I have been learning at this for almost 2 years now. So it's just like, it must just because, you know, I probably shouldn't have been doing it. I think that, you know, sometimes you just know. So what I'm doing with each of these individual areas is I'm going to shade them. I'm going to use my charcoal pencil. I'm going to use my black Stabilo, my brown Stabilo. I'm going to use all of my items that I love, and also my white pastel pencil, especially on these flowers. So I'm going around the edges. I'm using my brushes. I'm trying to create some depth and dimension on this piece. And as you know, this is something that I really enjoy doing. So it does take me a long time. I am going to just show you parts of it because, like I said previously, I just wanted to do a little bit of this piece for you. I'm going to do the flowers that I'm working on, and also the flower in the middle on the left. And I did do the dragonfly in the bottom right, and that I do have covered up with a piece of tissue paper so I don't smudge it. So you'll see that come to life in the future also. But just bringing that paint and that pencil out from the flowers, adding the shadows, you know, just really you know, enjoying the process is what I really needed to do. I said in the beginning, I'm waiting for my test for corona. I have had symptoms. You know, I'm staying away from everyone. I've missed 3 days of work this week already, but I cannot, you know, justify jeopardizing anyone out in public. My husband has no symptoms. He's actually out duck hunting, which is good because he's, you know, by himself, him and the ducks. So he is totally fine. I'm going to keep working on this project, and I am going to stop after that flower in the middle on the left, and then I'm going to finish it on my own time, and I will post the end result in our Facebook group, which is called Everything Paper and Glue. So you will see it there when I do finish it. If things keep going the way they're going and I'm feeling better and better, I can assume I will have a negative test result, and I'll be going back to work tomorrow. I hope. I miss the kiddos, so I'm hoping everything will progress fine. So here I finished that one. You can see the dragonfly down in the right. I'm going to cover them with my tissue paper here, and I am going to do this flower for you on the left middle. I'm using my brown Stabilo pencil here, and I'm just going around all of the lines of this beautiful flower. I think the flower is probably, I'm not really sure. If you know what this flower is, help me out. I'm not sure. It could be some type of rose. Not really sure. But if you know what it is, leave in a comment below. That would be great. People will probably asking. It's actually flower from a piece of wallpaper, and I cut it out. I'm going around the stems. I wanted to hurry this piece along a little bit. So I just sprayed it with some water, and you can see how it just kind of turns on when you spray that brown Stabilo pencil with water. And then I'm going to give it a dry with my heat gun. I'm going back with my charcoal pencils, and I'm going to darken in those edges. And I really think this one is super, super pretty. So I'm not going to finish the whole piece for you like I said. This one is going to take a while. I'm going to just work on it in my leisure. And like I said before, thank you for all your kind wishes. I'm sure I'm going to be fine. I am just staying away from everyone, and I hope everyone else is staying safe. And we will talk to you this next week, and Saturday hopefully I will have a art journal page for you Saturday morning. So check it out, and maybe I'll have more news for you later in the week. Just adding a little bit of green acrylic paint to the stems here of the flower, and I really like how this one turned out. I think that each square will just get better and better because of the more and more practice. Just could not use that green paint, so I added it to one of those smaller squares. So I'm hoping that you leave a comment, tell me what kind of flower that is. Stay safe, and I will keep you updated. And that Facebook group again is called Everything Paper and Glue. All right, have a good day, and I will talk to you soon.